everybody, grab your seats and welcome to the show. Hello everybody, my name is Biggles and I'm coming to you with a game review. The game, MLB The Show 21. I think it's the best one we've had since 15. Now let's jump into the review. As you can see, I almost have 4 days of playtime. I got Diamond Dynasty, Franchise, Road to the Show, Play Now, and Home Run Derby. So that says I've played enough of this game that I think I can give it a review. And I've also played 405 games. Quick note, I'm actually past 4 days playtime now. This is several days old. One of the things I like is you have so many options of game modes. Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a professional ball player? Road to the Show is the mode for you. You work your way from the minor leagues all the way to the pros. Maybe you rather know what it's like to be a GM of the franchise. Well, you have franchise mode. However, there's also March to October, which is a faster version of franchise, where you can jump into key points of any season and work your way all the way up to winning the World Series. Maybe you want more of an arcade feel. Well, there's retro mode and home run derby. Knock homers out of the park every day. Let's go. Have fun. Maybe you want the competitive online scene. Well, you have Diamond Dynasty and custom leagues to choose from. Oh look, the servers are down. What a surprise. Although I believe this is the best show game they've had in 6 years, it still has its problems. One of the biggest things I can't stand is the servers. As you could just see, they're down again. Now this game was fine when it was just PS4. Like before they added Xbox, the servers could handle it. They were rarely ever down. Now that the servers have Xbox to deal with as well, it crashes all the time. And you lose progress that you gained with all your players. And you can even lose games even when you're winning because the servers crash. Look at that fire, man. We're coming into the World Series on fire. Absolutely on fire. Oh, dude. This is Diamond Dynasty mode, where you collect player cards and then compete online, but it's also one of your most grindable offline modes. Now this is your offline mode for it. So this is Conquest, where you grind places. So let's look at this one. So what we would do is we'd push our way out, we'd sim all the way here, and as you do this, you conquer territories and you gain experience as you go. There's a attack phase, there's a steal fan phase, there's a reinforcement phase, and there's a move phase. Now, this is where most of my time is spent grinding out these maps for cards. Like when we did this one right here, we got this card right here for free, right? We got all this Jackie Robinson equipment right here for free. All we had to do was play the games. Diamond Dynasty also has Showdown. Showdown is where you draft a team like this. We'll go into this real quick because this is the starter one. This one doesn't cost anything. And you pick your players based on what you think you'll need. You only need one pitcher and you only need one closing pitcher. The rest you never have to use, so you don't worry about it. In this mode, I recommend getting your power hitters. They will help you through it. If you're really good at hitting, you don't have to worry about anything really. So this is just the draft. This is going to be similar to Battle Royale mode, except you're playing against people and it's stuck at All-Star. Now that's a really fun mode. You got to draft just like this. You don't get these perks like you do in Showdown, but this is Showdown. This year, the game introduced parallel levels. Parallel levels are boosts to players that you play with a lot. Now, Brandon Nimmo is my favorite player. I am a Mets fan. He is the center fielder for the Mets. Now, parallel levels for each level you get adds 1 point to every attribute. So I have him at level 5, so he now has 5 for each attribute. And as you can see over here, it says 2 for 2, which means I was the second person to get Nimmo to rank 5. This mode right here is Road to the Show. Now this year it went through a complete overhaul, and instead of just a regular create each individual, you get a ball player. So we're going to look at the My Ball Player right here. So we have loadouts this year, so you get to choose because there's two-way players. So you're going to be a pitcher and a position player, or you can choose one or the other. Now this is my ball player. He's going to be a third baseman, and this is my pitching loadout. So we can look at these different loadouts as you go through. I have a different glove here for pitcher as I do for fielding because one has K9s, one has your pitching stats. So you can go through all of these. I have a speedster, I have when I want to hit, right? So I have all these different loadouts for my ball player. As we look at my stats, this is the stats that we have this year. Now last year, what it was, you'd have to pick a archetype and work your way up. This year it doesn't do that. And I honestly like last year's version of the game better for Road to the Show. Now Road to the Show is great for when modes are offline, when the servers are down, because this is the only game mode you can play next to Play Now. So I play this a lot when the servers are down, grind out my player, which you can also use for your online play. This right here is March to October. As you can see on mine, I won 120 games in the season, 42 losses. I won the World Series. Once you complete March to October, you can continue to franchise mode over here. And what you do is you just get your next season after this one, and you have all the players that you changed and how they're playing, performing. That will stay the same, and you just got to go through, and it's basically a GM mode. I absolutely love this mode. I would play it over and over again because I am more of a franchise guy than a competitive online player, but I do like to get online and compete. Now that I've went over the game modes, let's jump into the review. Goodbye, walk off! As I stated earlier, I think this is one of the best MLB Show games we've had in years. However, the servers do crash all the time, and it's really hard to play. When we do get to play, the game is awesome, but most of the time the servers are down, so you're just sitting there playing loading screen simulator. One of the major problems that's caused from the servers is after you do a moment, this isn't exactly the server, but once you do a moment, it takes you back into the screen. But because the servers crash so much, you do a moment, you get kicked out, you're loading back in, trying to get the server back up, the server comes back up, you get back into a moment. So you can't even grind out your moments, which are single actions like hit one home run. Now, the last thing I'm going to complain about in this video is the hitting. Now, last year they went through a whole thing and added perfect hitting. Now, perfect hitting is where you put exact PCI placement on the ball for your best hit possible. And you'd also have to have perfect timing in order to do so. However, this year, it feels like the more perfects you hit, the more outs you get, which shouldn't be a thing. If you completely cover the ball should go. It shouldn't just die. They've added elevation this year because of the created stadiums, and it feels like if you don't have a high elevation park, the balls don't fly when you absolutely crush them. I've had perfects with Pete Alonso, who has 100 power, and they're not leaving the yard. Perfect, please be a home run. Are you kidding me, dude? Perfect out. Perfect out. I see how it is, game. Perfects equal outs. Three perfect outs, dude. Rookie. Is that a perfect out? Is that going on the clip reel? That's going on the clip reel. Okay. I hope the hitting gets fixed because the hitting's still good. It's just you have to play on the higher difficulties in order for them to actually matter. All right, enough of the bad. Let's talk about the good. Pitching. I love pitching this year. Pinpoint pitching is the best pitching mode I've ever seen in MLB The Show. Here's a little example of pinpoint pitching. We're going to throw a fastball here and just go up, down, and then go all the way down to that. And that would be your fastball pitch. Then you have a slider, which is down and around, and then see, that's what happens when you throw a bad pitch. As you can see, I just showed a clip of the pinpoint pitching. This is the most rewarding pitching system that is in the game today. It is also the most punishing. If you mess up really bad, they're probably going to hit a home run, or it's going to go way away from where you aimed. You know what they changed this year? Fielding, and I'm so glad they did. Last year, absolute trash. This year, way better. Went through a complete overhaul. Last year, they're like, oh, we're going to try this new fielding. This year, they threw out that fielding from last year, added a new one, and it feels so much better. My favorite part of the game? Parallel levels. As you saw earlier, I was the second person to hit parallel level 5 with Brandon Nimmo, which makes that card competitive for me. And you can do this with any card, not just Brandon Nimmo, which allows more cards to be competitive. Since there are server problems and the hitting has gotten worse, I'm going to have to say this game is probably a 5 out of 10. But if you take away those server problems, I'd say the game is an 8.5 out of 10. Overall, I love this game, even though it can get really aggravating. I enjoy the game much more on the harder difficulties though. The lower difficulties, all you have to do is stack power to win. That all goes away though when you hit the higher difficulties, where the smaller PCI makes it hard to hit. Personally, my favorite mode is March to October / franchise mode. I get to play a whole season with the Mets. There's so much content in this game that you won't run out of stuff to do. You could probably play it all year and still be farming free stuff that you can get in the game. And with all the options to choose, if you're bored of one mode, you can go to a new one. Thank you everybody for watching. That is my game review on MLB The Show 21. My name is Biggles Mets. If you would like to see me do more of these, please comment in the comment section below. Thank you. Double play, baby! Double play! Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and even follow my Twitch.